and gentlemen, it's live, and it's a Thursday night on the Chrissy Ann Show. On tonight's panel, we have bassist, guitarist, drummer extraordinaire Nick Burns, who's missing in action, and of course, as always, in the dark corners somewhere, Father Menace, unbelievable Chrissy Ann. But that doesn't matter because it's all about Texas now.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Chrissy Ann Show.
Well, hello. Howdy, YouTube, patriots, loved ones, family, trolls. And Father, you know what? I love you. I love you, Father.
I love you too. I love you too, Missy.
You're always here. You're always supporting me. You're always just, you make good music. You put our intro, our outro. You're always up to speed on things. Mm-hmm. But you and I need to have a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Is it going to be dirty?
Well, a little bit.
If it's not dirty, I'm not interested.
Well, it kind of is.
Okay.
It's about Nick.
Oh, okay. Well, we can totally make this dirty then.
What?
Nick, you've been gone for a while.
What do you want from me? I told you I had some things going on.
Yeah.
Maybe the thing is like, you just up and vanished. Mm-hmm. And then we're like calling, emails, calls, and like nothing.
I gave you warning that it might happen. I mean, I have no way of knowing when that, but I gave you ample warning that it was a possibility.
Well, I mean just because you say it, it's still, it was left very open-ended and like a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nobody.
And too, there was no explanation on how the bell money was going to be repaid or any of that stuff.
Well, I mean, I figured that's what the donations were for the show. But I mean, the thing is regardless, I was exonerated. It's all good now. So I'm back. No worries.
I guess, whatever. I mean,
it worked out.
I'm glad it worked out, but I mean, it wasn't
quick.
working. It wasn't working out on my end.
Well, it was quick. Well, I know you need, razors and underwear, but I mean, I feel like the money went to a better cause, right?
Well, I need the razors, but I don't need any underwear.
Well, so there again, I have to start pouring my own money into our equipment and all.
I wear a kilt.
See how this goes.
But I mean, I am part of the equipment, so technically speaking.
Yeah, we know what part of the equipment.
We've got people in our chat tonight, guys. Look at all this already. We've got DM. We love you. Mm-hmm. Always dropping it.
It's all the same.
I owe you a phone call still. I'm so sorry.
It's all the same, degenerates.
Your mama is in the house. Baba Jones, P. Hafner, Jervis, CLC. Hello, I haven't seen you in a while. Bruce changed his icon. I think we talked about that. Michelle, am I missing anybody?
They're all there. All the deplorables. All the deplorables are here. All of them. There'll be more. There'll be 20 at some point, and then at some point there'll be 1,000.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
well, not to toot my own horn, but I mean the numbers are already up, and I'm back, so can't really get rid of me. Sorry.
Well, they kind of went down when I was missing, so now they're starting to come back up.
Really? Because I didn't notice that. Did you notice that, Father?
Well, one thing I did notice is that things seem to go very, I guess, less stress because, we're used to feeling the sting of a whip on our back, and we weren't feeling that.
Well, yeah.
That keeps you guys in line. It's discipline. Discipline is good for you.
Yeah, but the thing is, first of all, we get yelled at for going over an hour. But then I was like, but Chrissy, we had like 20 5 people in there, like an hour and a half in. I don't care. I'd rather you have 2 at an hour. That's what our time slotted. I'm like, okay, first of all, drop the southern accent because you're in Texas now. All of a sudden, you're like, gosh darn it,
Yeah.
you whippersnappers. And I'm like, Chrissy, stop.
Just like how Madonna went to,
Right.
when she married Guy Ritchie and went to England, all of a sudden she had an English accent.
Right.
Same
So-
thing. Like she's in Texas now, like
Wow, you're
y'all.
all
She says
talking
y'all, calls up, say, hey, how's y'all? I'm like, whatever. You're from LA.
Yeah, anyways. So, yeah, either way, I'm back. So it's all good. It all worked out. Everything's groovy. So,
Alex is in the house.
what's up, everybody?
Bring them all in. Bring them all to everyone in the chat room. Bring them all over. Bring them. Call people. Send emails. FedEx. Whatever. Bring them all over. You all know where to be.
Well, all I have to say is, we're glad to have you back, Nick. But there will be a reduction in Skittles. That's all.
That's fine. You put up the bail money, so it's good. I'll take a discounted Skittle rate for now.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there would be no bail money for me. They was like, oh, just leave them in there.
Right.
You're going to have to work off that bail money, just to let you know.
God, my hands smell like mushrooms.
Why would your hands smell like mushrooms?
Because I ate a hamburger full of mushrooms.
Oh,
I didn't wash my hands. I'm like, damn, it still smells good.
Don't tell me I'm hungry right now. I can't eat. It's past my.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole, Del Taco at Fry at 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, you trained your body. I mean, now it's like you got to untrain.
Just give you guys a little backstory about after we would do a show, me and the guys would still talk after the show is stopped, and I would take my dogs, and there is a Del Taco about 15 miles from where I live.
We were forced to talk afterwards.
And so the only reason I went to this particular Del Taco is because they would give free French fries to my dog. So I probably spent more money in gas because gas is ridiculous in California, just to drive to this particular Del Taco because the people there loved my dogs, and so they would give them free French fries. And of course, I get either French fries or a quesadilla or a taco
or a milkshake.
But they're mini. They're only like this big. They were like 4 ounces. So it wasn't like. But yeah. So I haven't had fast food since I've gotten to Texas.
You feed your dogs fries? Yikes.
Who said that?
Yep.
Yo mama.
Yo mama. She's got a blue wrench.
That's right.
Yo mama.
She's one of the OGs.
So,
dude, she's in the house.
So we have 16 and counting, and we also have this is like I was saying before we went live. President Trump is like the mother scolding the unruly child, which is Mexico, and giving him an ultimatum. So go ahead, Christiane.
He's sending 6,000 troops down to the southern border, and it's about time. So he is putting a kerplop in the Democrats' plan in trying to bring in more voters, trying to bring in illegals, trying to bring in their funky diseases. So
that's a ban from 1978.
Funky diseases.
The funky diseases. You got to put a the in front of it.
The funky diseases. That's what we should call our show, is the funky diseases.
What?
That would be a great T-shirt. My face actually fits that. The funky diseases. Like, what the hell's wrong with that one, dude? Yeah, dude, it actually works.
Do I qualify as a Southern Belle yet?
No.
The Southern Belle,
No.
the funky disease, and then Nick.
I'm almost thinking that you should change it to the funky diseases. Now that you say that, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. I'm thinking that we might have to change it. Oh damn! If you're not gonna change it, I might have to use it. The funky diseases. But anyways, yeah. So the president is being the parent, the adult, while Mexico is being the child stomping their feet because they weren't getting their way. Basically saying, listen, people in Central America, really, you're gonna let them walk all the way through your country to our border? I don't think so.
Well, I think the problem is that you've got, there's corruption, right? So you have the corruption from the people who are funding these programs, right? If you think about the amount of money that is going into organizing, facilitating these immigrants coming all the way from Guatemala, Honduras, Salvadorians are included. But anyways, all these people from all these deep southern countries, that's a lot of money. You got to think of busing, potties, food, and then too, they're giving them money on top of it. So the people who are, open border society and who are saying, oh, well, let's give them, they're just wanting opportunity. They just want the same things we have. That money could have been used for infrastructure. It could have been to educate. It could have been to, because that money in that amount of money in those countries would have been so much more useful in helping those people get their countries. But here's the thing that's the scary part. The influence that this money has on the politicians in order to get these things completed, that's where the corruption lies. That's where a lot of money is going to. And so now, Trump's playing hardball, and you know what? He smacked those globalists right in the face with what he did, those tariffs, because despite the money, those tariffs are going to make those politicians look bad, and then they won't get voted back.
Yeah, look how fast they caved. Mexico caved. I mean, what, 72 hours? Because Monday it hits. So within 72 hours, basically they caved, and that was only like 5. I think that was a 5% tariff. Mm-hmm. And I think from there it goes to 10 to 20. So they caved immediately because Mexico doesn't have a leg to stand on. Let's all be honest with each other. Our neighbor to the south doesn't have a leg to stand on. If the United States wasn't sandwiched in between, you have Mexico, United States, and then Canada. Let's just think about the United States not even being there.
Right.
What would you have? You would have a country, this is what irritates the hell out of me, is that the left, instead of going to the problem, which is the Mexican government is the problem, the government is pathetic. They can't even take care of their own people. They can't even run their own country properly. Instead of calling out the problem, which is the Mexican government, they're blaming our own president, in some backhanded, sick way. Can you imagine choosing your family or your children over strangers?
Well, they've
because that's what's happening.
And this is how disgusting it is. Now, when I was a teenager, we did mission trips with our church, and so we would sneak. We would go in vans and we sit on piles of lumber and construction supplies and sneak across the border, and we would build churches. We would build homes for, women who are either in an abusive relationship or recovering from drugs or whatnot. So we actually would go into just a little past Tijuana, and there was a place called Laguna, and it was actually an old lagoon, and it had turned into a dump. And people actually lived in this dump. And we would go and shower them and bring them clothes and try to take care of them.
Are you sure that wasn't Seattle you were in?
No, this was when I was a teenager, and that was years ago.
You said dump. I was thinking,
Oh no.
What used to be glorious Detroit,
Well,
the envy of the world, which is turned into a dump.
Oh, all the Democratic cities are turning. Well, and then this just happened. Typhoid fever is now in LA. They're now saying that there's been reports of the Black Plague.
Yeah, that's the nickname of my ex-girlfriend.
So, I mean, okay, and then too, the California beaches are being shut down because of arsenic, cyanide, and lead poisoning. And it's all from the trash from the immigrants that are hanging out at the border.
Isn't that interesting? So all the so-called environmentalists in Southern California, all the tree huggers, you go to the Venice Beach, and it's a dirty shithole. The place is a shithole.
Well, here's the thing. So you got San Diego, and then you got Orange County before you get to LA. Orange County is where all the rich people, and well, San Diego too, but that's, everybody heads towards the Orange County beaches, and you're going to start pissing off a lot of people who've got a lot of money. And I don't know how Orange County turned blue just in, in one midterm.
Well, we all know what that we all know it's fraud.
Oh yeah. Totally fraud it.
Yeah, all of a sudden all the rich people and all the people who stuck their neck out on the line to create some sort of business, to create their own wealth in Orange County, all of a sudden, just overnight, we're Democrats now. Whatever. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I'm sick of these eight. I gotta watch my language here. I'm getting aggravated.
Yeah. Let's see who's in the chat. Dangerous Freedom.
And of course, China Joe is the biggest, sellout of all time.
What'd you say?
Well, I'm waiting for Slacker to get his guitar because I can hear him fumbling.
Yo.
Anyways, China Joe.
Somebody said China Joe in the chat. That was Alex. Do you know what DM said?
What?
China Joe.
Yeah. Now, he's. You want to talk about? Listen, this guy. Would somebody just grab China Joe and just?
Do you know who they're saying his running mate could be? Kamala Harris.
Oh God.
So could somebody just please grab a hold of Bedbug Biden's shoulders and point him in the direction of the retirement home, please? I mean, it's like a silver sneakers alert. Every time you see him out around, you're like, oh, look, there it is. I call the police and say, I just found the old man you were looking for. Yeah, the old senile buffoon that left his little condo, and I just saw him. He's on television. Let me tell you where he's at.
The Catholic Legal Immigration Network is one of the 4 groups that make up the Cara Foundation, which funds the caravans. The other 3 are funded by Soros. Wow.
Yeah, somebody up early in the chat, way up there, was talking about the gutless Republicans, and there's a lot of them. Well,
I think it's funny because they've, since Trump has gotten in office, all they can do is demonize white old men. And their 2 top contenders are white old men. I think that's just hilarious.
Well, you see Mitch McConnell, and it's just like, dude, I mean, really? I mean, it looks like his lip is not ready to start
off.
Yeah, it looks like, but it's like he's like a Jim Henson. He's like right from the Muppets.
The
Muppet Show. He's like one of the old men from the Muppet Show. or a Jim Henson creature. It's like, dude, shut up and retire already. Listen, there are some Republicans in there, Jim Jordan and so on and so forth, that have their guys have guts. But the old guard needs to retire and go away. These empty suits, these cowards need to go away and let us take over. Let me come in there.
Yeah, we need like Trey Gowdy. We need, Jim
I'm gonna run for
Jordan.
office.
You should.
I'll run for
I
dog
should.
catcher, and I'll see if I get elected dog catcher first before I can make my way up.
My Twitter followers were trying to get me. We were trying to figure out how to do a write-in for Barbara or Dianne Feinstein's, because we only had 2 Democrats for Dianne, or for Diane's spot was Dianne and this other guy, and he was worse than Dianne. And it was like, you can't write somebody in. You have to. There's so many, like the voting laws for California are unconstitutional.
Isn't just the state alone unconstitutional now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The entire state.
Mm-hmm.
See, if I run for office, I'll have Nick. So what it'll be, it'll almost be like a diamond and silk thing. So as I'm talking, I'll be like, oh yeah, and by the way, China Joe, and then Nick he jumps up out of his seat, grabs acoustic guitar, plays the tune, and then I go on, and I speak something else, and then he plays another tune. It would be perfect. I mean, we probably would win as a team. We probably would win hands down. Probably get all the votes.
I'd vote for that.
So the old rhinos need to just go away and let us. I'm a registered Republican. I'm not afraid to say it. I mean, some people may like, I'm not going to tell you what my affiliation is.
What are you talking about, you libertarian?
Yeah. I'm too afraid to tell you. I'm like, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, man. Just punch them right in the middle of the face, man. Right in the nose. Make their eyes water. Just tell them straight up.
Well, you know what's really funny? Because,
What?
I had to do some
What
lawyer
was really
shopping
funny?
this week. I was doing some lawyer shopping this week, and I would start off to the lawyer, and I would
sounds
say,
illegal.
Hey, I'm California. I'm new to Texas, and I'm looking for a lawyer. But before we get started, I need to ask you a personal question. And they'd say, well, okay. I say, are you Republican or Democrat? And they're like, well, because I figured they're probably assuming, since I'm California, I'm Democrat. And they're like, well, I hate to put labels on things. And I was like, okay. But I did talk to one lawyer, and he talked with the Southern, like nobody out here has a Southern accent. It's like very few and far between people who have a Southern accent. But once in a while you hear darling. That's just like.
Well, you got to get out in the outback of Texas. You got to get out in the outback of Texas, and then you're going to hear the draw. There's too many transplants. There's transplants in Austin and San Antonio and Dallas, so you're not going to get that.
I'm not even in San Antonio. I'm like pretty south.
Man, you got to go out in the outback, way out. I mean, I'm sure at some point you're going to be going way, way out in these little towns, and holy crap, you're going to be like, man, the draw is heavy.
So anyway, I did talk to one lawyer.
Let me tell you something right now.
He was like, I'm a Republican and I'm a Trump supporter. And I was like, okay, you're my favorite so far.
Or maybe he just knows what to say.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
He didn't care who or what I was. He was like, I'm a Republican.
I don't like to put labels on anything. Well, if you don't put labels on anything, how the hell do you know what to buy? How do you know what it is? So what do? Go to a department, you go to the supermarket, and everything is just in white containers with no labels on it, and there's no, what's this? Everyone's opening up the jar and smelling it and tasting it like, oh, this is mayonnaise. Mm-hmm. I mean, give me a break. Yeah. I can't stand gutless people. Just say it, for God's sakes. What is everyone afraid of? Can you please tell me? What is everybody afraid of? It really irritates the hell out of me. I mean, people really need to grow a spine.
Well,
I'm just getting irritated.
One of the lawyers was saying, well, it doesn't matter and I'm like, no, it does. It does to me, because here's the thing, what we're trying to do has a lot to do with politics. And so we want to make sure that you are not just a lawyer, but you also believe in what we're doing. So, it is an issue for me. And if that's something that you can't relate to me in, then it's probably not going to work out. See ya.
I mean, listen, it's okay. So like, when you go on it, or if you're going to like start dating, or you're going to be, oh, I'm going to start dating now, or something like that. Well, you want to know, for God's sakes, don't you?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. 6 months in, you're like, I can't stand your guts because of this, that. I was too afraid to ask you. I mean, this is just retarded.
Yeah, and if I'm going to be paying you anywhere from $300 to $500 an hour, I get to know these things.
I'll be your lawyer for that.
How would you say? How much an hour?
Anywhere from the price range, anywhere from $300 to $500 an hour.
Just call me Nicholas Bernstein. I got you.
You need to find another lawyer. Yeah.
Oh no, that's not going right. I mean, I've been dealing with lots of lawyers for a long time. So
yeah. So you ask him, like, how many paralegals do you have? Oh, I have, I mean, the whole office is full of paralegals. So basically, you don't do a damn thing. They do all the work for you. Just like if you're somebody in Washington, D.C., like AOC or any of the other clowns that are elected, they have a team of basically even PAs, these young college kids that are working for nothing, doing all this work for nothing. They're doing all the work while she just shows up, so that's just, I hate the con game,
Alex, why are you giving out my identity? This is not good. You might have visitors now. I am much closer to you now.
What are you doing, woman?
Be very careful.
What are you doing?
I am talking to Alex.
You keep your mouth shut.
Don't tell me what to do.
Listen to me.
Don't tell me what to do.
I will not tell you
Don't tell me
again.
what to do.
Woman.
Talk to Alex. He's the one who's, he's the one who's giving my identity out. I don't appreciate this. This is not good.
I am not like this cotton picking mini muggins. Alex is not good for you.
Bruce. Bruce says, I'm not an attorney, but I did stay at the Holiday Inn Express once. I only charge $100 an hour. Wah, wah, wah.
And he saved a boatload of money by switching to Geico. So.
Oh, and your mama's talking to you. She says showing up doesn't cut it. Just like being cute doesn't help it. You need more to offer.
So basically what you're saying, Nick, just because you showed up, you're not getting a trophy.
What are we even talking about?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just joining in.
You all need to give Liberty Smith a hello.
I'm just joining in. I mean, oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm getting another thing on my phone here. It's a silver alert. There's another old buffoonish elderly. Oh. It's China Joe. Dude, just keep that guitar in your gut.
That's right.
Don't put it down.
Listen, I got things to do. All right.
What? Play with your balls?
Yes, of course. That's like number one. First of all, if you're a guy, you know this. Secondly,
hold on for a second. No, we're staying on to the testicle things. Now, after you're done, do you smell your fingers?
Now, how? China Joe's drunk.
Yeah, no kidding. Just watch him talk.
That's the beauty of it. You wait until I set it down and then you say it. It just so happens that, I'm just not an arm's length away from it almost every single freaking time you say it. But getting back to what is she talking about showing up? Is she talking about what we're talking about, or is she talking about what's going on in the chat? China Joe.
You're gonna have to do a rewind and go read.
I don't know.
You know how to read. You were emigrated from the public school system.
I ain't ever done learned how to read everything, but I'll tell you what, I did graduate, got me an education, and now I milk cows. So I'll tell you something right now, ain't no thing. Don't matter to me.
Well, you are a dude, so you definitely know how to grab the udder and milk it.
I do. You right about that. I was a natural born udder grabber.
Natural. That's another T-shirt. Natural born udder grabber.
I'll tell you that right now.
We're gonna have a section of risque T-shirts, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
We should, because that's probably what we'll probably make our most money with that.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, you ever done it before, Father? Tell you one thing, it's liberating.
Yeah, I discovered that about 11 years old in the shower.
No, that ain't the same thing there, buddy. I'm telling you, when you got two in your hand, oh, doggy. Yep.
I wouldn't admit to that in the public forum.
Well, you know what? Somebody's got to milk them damn things. Right?
You're right. Yeah, I mean,
right now, if you see, the thing is, if you don't switch hands, you ain't gonna be good at this job, right? You got to be able
calluses.
Yeah, you got to alternate. Squeeze, pull, squeeze, pull, and you go left, right, left, right. It's kind of like being in the army, but except for you're holding on to these thingies and you're squeezing and you're tugging, right? But I'll tell you one thing.
That's a Journey song.
No, that's close to the Journey song. But to be honest with you, I'll tell you one thing you need to know about that Journey song. That's actually about milking cows. You right? But anyway, so you hugging and squeezing and jerking the udder, and then next thing you know, you got a little squirt coming out the bottom, and that's like liquid gold, baby. Because I'll tell you what, people drink that shit, right?
It's good for your complexion. Gosh. It's good for your complexion.
It's good. I tell you what.
132.
I mean, did you actually think we're going to be talking about politics in here? You came to the wrong place.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. Anyways.
So what other
some good politics?
Yeah, what other politicking buffoon can we talk about?
So Portsmouth, they have a group called the Red Arrows, and it's a aerobatic group. And they, so you know how the whole media is trying to spin like London hates Trump. They wanted him out. They were protesting against him. Well, so they took off, and over London, they spelled out with their airplanes, F off con. It was beautiful. It was amazing. Like, yeah, I mean, the way they did it, the formation of the F and the U and the C and the K was just perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
For somebody to put that much money and that much time into expressing their discontent for their mayor, who probably was illegally elected, I'm just going to guess.
Yeah. First of all, I am totally amazed at how the British government, the police, have absolutely turned their back on their own citizens to a point where it's unbelievable. We have problems in the United States, but nothing even close to what's going on in Great Britain. Not even close. No. And it's truly amazing, especially the police submitting to Islam. I mean, I don't know if anyone has seen it or not, but you have departments all over Great Britain now where the police are on prayer rugs and they are totally submitting to Islam. And I'm thinking to myself, who are these gutless? I got to watch my language, man. I'm going to lose it. I'm really going to lose it.
We got
I
you.
mean, it's unbelievable. And the thing is, the BBC is CNN, MSNBC, NPR, all wrapped together on steroids. It's the worst organization. News. It's not news. It's just full-on
Did you hear
propaganda.
that CNN has to pull out their I think it's their European stations now because they just don't have the money anymore. Their ratings have
Yeah,
just plummeted.
yeah, they're
And
totally tanking.
I think the only people who really watch them, there's like probably a handful of people who suck on that sewage that they spew. But I think majority of their viewers are probably just people going, what in the heck are they saying now?
I mean, you could see Rational in here, who was on the program just days ago, and what he's saying is absolutely correct. If you
Ugh.
read what he wrote in there, it's absolutely correct. It's truly amazing how the infiltration, how it just came into Britain, and they just absolutely just turned. And the thing is there, there was a lot of Trump supporters there. They just weren't showing it. And not only that, but they're trying to act as if somehow collectively, all together in Great Britain, they Orange Man bad. They can't stand him, which is a total lie. Like I said before, I mean, Europe has its own flyover America. And when you get into the mid sections outside of London, the mid sections of England, that's their version of flyover America. And they love the president, our president 45, Donald John Trump.
Oh, geez. I saw a meme the other day of one of these liberal idiot friends of mine on Facebook, a musician, and he's like, "Oh, these are the approval ratings for these countries for Obama and Trump," right? It was like this ridiculous meme, and I go, "Who cares?" And somebody goes, "Well, you should care what the world thinks of of Trump. He's this, and this." I go, who gives a shit about what other countries think? Since when do you care more about what other countries think about our country than what Americans think? We don't care. Do you think China cares about what we think about them? No, not at all. It's so dumb. Like, you're using that as some, as these Orange Man bad, never Trumper idiots try to like make this point about Trump based off of these ridiculously skewed polls, first of all, and try and like pass it as gospel. I'm like, who cares? Who gives a shit about what Germany thinks of Trump? Okay, who gives a shit about what China thinks of Trump? Mexico, who cares? Why do we care? Guess what? Because you know what? If these people get in trouble, who are the first one that, you know what? Trump is their daddy. Okay? Because if they get in trouble, they're going to come asking daddy for help. So the last thing you want to think about is, oh, these countries think bad of Trump. But who are they going to come running to? Who are they going to come running to when they get in trouble?
Think bad? Is it like, people who have been screwing us, like Iran? Iran, obviously, Trump's approval rate with Iran's not that great, but that's probably because Iran, what they've been doing to their, not just the world, but their own country. Don't give a crap.
My point is what's the Queen of England's approval rate for Americans? Who fucking cares? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the Queen of England. But nobody cares.
I don't.
But the point is we don't care about her. Right. We don't care about the Queen of England.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of how could you possibly have a logical decision and choose a life of worrying about what other people think of you If you conducted yourself like that, you wouldn't get anywhere in life. You wouldn't have people sticking their neck out on the line on anything because they'd be too worried about what everyone's thinking of them. You wouldn't have any kind of achievements whatsoever in life.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, they're
Ridiculous.
laughing at Trump. But what is Mexico doing right now?
Yeah.
They're laughing at him. But what are they doing? Here's the thing. These people don't realize that, you know what? Hey, you don't like Trump, good for you. You know,
Well,
I can't help if you have issues, right? If you have problems where you can't distinguish the difference between being for your country or being against your country, okay? And if you're for Trump, you're for your country. If you're against Trump, you're not for your country, okay? End of story. He is our president. No matter if you voted for him or not, you have to get behind the president of the United States, right?
Yeah.
Even if you disagree with him. And some people might say, "Oh no, that's not true." I believe that 100% true. Even Obama, hated the guy, couldn't stand the guy, but he was our president. Why would you want us to fail?
Exactly.
Why would you?
Just blows me away.
Why would you want the country to fail?
Right.
And to say the division is so bad because of Trump, it's not the division between Trump supporters and liberals. It's liberals against Trump supporters, okay? Because they're the one that's creating the division. They're the one that's creating the issues, the rhetoric that comes out of their mouths is divisional. It divides everything. They want to put people into classes, and they want to tell anybody that is remotely close to supporting Trump that they're a moron, they're an idiot, that they should know better, and they should wake up, and this and that. And it's like, listen, everybody should be supporting the president of the United States. You don't have to like his policy, you don't have to like his rhetoric, or you don't have to like his mouth. But the last thing you want is to not support your own damn country. Because
exactly.
Not unless you hate it.
Exactly, that's my point. So you say you're a constitutionalist, and Trump is doing this and that, and this is bad. Like, how are you a constitutionalist if you're talking this way? Is it the right that's trying to take speech and turn it into something that it's not? Is it the right that is trying to push these crazy agendas in which are enforcing people to do things that are against their rights, right? No, it's not. And then they use the Roe v. Wade thing as, well, that's a right. Well, technically it's not. It's a law, not a right. There's a difference between a law that's on the books and your civil rights, your rights as an American, right? Yeah. And you're not infringing on somebody's rights with these abortion bans. That's not a right. That's a law, and that's a state law. Just like when you have these folks that want to have these sanctuary cities, that's a state law. So again, you can't have it both ways. When it's good for your people, you're throwing a party. When it's bad for your people, you're throwing a fit. You know what I mean? So just be behind your damn country. Who cares? Leave it alone. Who cares about what Germany thinks? Who cares about what any other country thinks?
Right.
It's ridiculous.
And there was a meme, like a video meme, in Twitter, and it showed Iran, in the 1980s and now. So the women were wearing tank tops and shorts and clothes, and that the city shots were clean, and then now it's women in burqas, and everything is just dirty. And they went to Afghanistan, then they did it about London, and then they showed a picture of the state capitol where there was a bunch of men praying on prayer rugs. And that's the thing that these Democrats, these justice warriors need to understand that if we keep going in the direction we're going, and if you don't support our president, our country's going to be gone.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's like you have. Listen, I'm really aggravated. I mean, you have this thing, and her name is Nancy Pelosi, and she's a thing. She's a disgusting thing. This empty-headed nitwit. We're talking about. Let's just focus on her for a moment. She's talking about the president is overseas right now. And we have a generation of men that when that boat came up to the shores and that door dropped, they were running into the line of fire. And the guy that they were talking to just seconds ago, when they were all looking at each other before that door dropped, not knowing, within seconds, he's walking over that boy, a lot of them were boys, dead body floating in the ocean within seconds. And she's got the nerve to say that the president, I want to see him in prison. He needs to go to prison. We're talking about a woman. I mean, let's think about her head for a moment. We want to talk about an empty, dark place. If you want to hear your voice echo for eternity, just step into Nancy Pelosi's mind, which she doesn't have. It's an empty cavern, an abyss of nothing. This woman is a disgusting, despicable piece of you know what. And for her for her to talk about the president needs to go to prison now when he's overseas, commemorating the 75th anniversary, 75th anniversary of D-Day,
Mm-hmm.
is disgusting. It's appalling. I mean, this woman has to get herself hopped up on every drug imaginable just so she can form some sort of synapse in that empty orb that resides on her shoulders. It's empty.
Very poetic in describing that hag, but she's a mess. She's a total complete mess. This for her to say what she did was just uncomprehendable, because and here's the thing, they're scared because you know what, when everything comes out, all the redactions are done. I mean, the Mueller, all of that stuff's coming out pretty soon.
Let's look into her background.
Yeah, let's
look into her back. No, she wants to go down this rabbit hole of talking about the president needs to go to prison. She wants to go down this rabbit hole, then let's go down it, Nancy. Let's look into your background, you criminal piece of garbage.
Let's look into her background, and let's look into her husband, because she's worth $50 million. He's worth $200 million or $150 million. To combine, they're at 200. And you know what? She only makes $200,000 a year. So explain to me how to get that rich. And
it's called saving your money. We just saved.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, when you're making that amount of money, you can save a lot very quickly.
Well, and here's the thing too. There's things called cordels, the military cordels, and basically it's these luxury planes that the military has. And she requests, when she's Speaker of the House, not did she do it the first time, but she did it. She's doing it now. So these cordels, there's a complete staff that goes on them. They have a chef, they have the flight attendants, they have security. And this is military. This is for certain things. So these cordels, she insists on having them, and she insists on having them for her at her beck and call. And she uses them to fly from DC to Sacramento, or when she flies back and forth at home. Her bill just for alcohol, for just the few flights, what we're talking about, 8 flights, maybe more, 10 flights back and forth in a month, Just the alcohol itself, just the alcohol, $2,500 a month in alcohol on these Cordels.
Yeah.
And Miss Prissy, when the Cordels are not available to her, the ones that she wants,
Cordell.
because the military uses them for certain things. She was going to go to a funeral and she wanted the Cordell to fly her to this, and the military was no. We don't have any right now, and she threw a hissy fit because it wasn't available to her. That is not the purpose of those military planes. She's not at risk. She does not need military escort to fly back and forth.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to lighten the mood a little bit, and I think we need a station identification.
This is Brown State Fair, and you're listening to Christian on a Thursday night live, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for chatting. Everybody hit the thumbs up. Tell a friend for sure. That Nick guy's back. What a jerk. Anyways, thanks for listening. I gotta eat some gravy. I'll check back in a little while. Okay. All right. Hit the thumbs up. Okay. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's round. He's fat. He's flaccid. He has extra gravy in his body. It's brown stained fat. Yeah, we had to lighten the mood a bit. I mean, honestly, I was about ready to just slam my microphone through my flat screen.
Yeah, that would not be good.
I mean,
if I tried to do that,
yeah,
it wouldn't do anything. The microphone on these headphones is really small.
Oh yeah. You should videotape yourself trying to do that. That would be the next viral video, everyone.
Damn it, it's not working.
And you see the little white microphone going off the screen, just going. Yeah.
Oh, good night, Shonda.
No, you can't go to bed. Not now. You've got to stay up all the way to the very end, all the way.
It's a pain in the neck to have a good head on her shoulders.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, everything. I mean, we have a gaggle. We have a gaggle of it's. Well, I mean, this is going to be the greatest show on earth with all these idiots on the Democratic Party. I'm running for president now. Like, okay, dog catcher of Seattle somewhere, some libtard. I'm running for president now. Like, okay, whatever. I mean, China Joe.
Yeah. China Joe's gonna lose.
It's going to be the greatest show. It should be a mini series. They should just turn it into a mini series.
What? Turn what into a mini series?
Everyone that's running on the Democratic side is running for president. They should just turn it into a mini series on Netflix, of course. Antitrust is coming in, everybody. Antitrust is coming. Google, Apple, Facebook, they're all in trouble, and it's coming. And thank God we have Colt 45 as our president, because if Hillary was in, I have a feeling if Hillary was in right now, you would be getting a knock on your door, and there would be these men in black attire, and there would be a paddy wagon ready to drag you off to the re-education camp.
Paddy has a wagon?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's nice and round. It's nice.
Not that kind of show, guys.
I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, either way, Well,
but so antitrust is on its way. I mean, they just couldn't stop. They couldn't help themselves. So you know what? It's about time. It all needs to be broken up. All of it.
Bruce has been in Patty's whacking.
Damn.
Oh, Patty.
Jeez.
Wow.
Was that before or after the dinner date?
I don't know. Did you buy dinner first or what?
Did you what's the so-called official dating website, online dating site where they really try to find the person, a real match? What's that one?
eHarmony.
Yeah. So did you find Patty? Did you find Patty on eHarmony? Remember the old man? Don't you want to find this old man? Don't you want to find somebody that's worthwhile? Where is he now? I think he's dead.
Diabetes.
Oh, maybe.
Pocahontas.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Father, have you ever tried online dating?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How'd that work?
Here's what I tell people: the old-fashioned way is the only way, and this is. Let me explain. And all my clients were mostly, well, they were all female. So, anyways.
Badooch. Go ahead.
So, anyways, I would say, because they were having they were having tremendous problems as well. I said, listen, the old-fashioned way is the only way. Let me tell you why. So, if you go to a lot of people meet in the workplace anyways. But anyways, for instance, if you go to like this watering hole or this place that you have friends or whatever, and you go like every weekend or every other weekend, you're going to reoccurring places or events, and you happen to meet somebody and you've met them another 3 times and you find out they're single and this, that, and if man or woman, it doesn't matter. The thing is like you've already met that person several times. You know what they look like. You've talked to them. You have this human connection. You can read their eyes, this, that, and the other thing. Whereas online is a scam because everybody online BS's. The other thing is it's impossible to have that connection. For instance, like I just said before, you've met so-and-so, man or woman, and it's man and woman, by the way. Boy, girl, mother, father, man and woman.
Z, sir.
No, it's none of that. But anyways, and the old-fashioned way is the only way because, like I said before, you've met this person a few times. You've talked to them. You've seen them. You're like, I'm attracted. And like, oh, I feel her. She's sexy. She's cute. She's, this, that, and the other thing. Talk to her, her tone of her voice, reading her eyes, and this, that. And she's got nice teeth. Doesn't have meth mouth. And
you can read eyes.
Yeah, you can read eyes, body language. But anyways, but online you can't do any of that. It's always you meet and you're like, you meet and you're like, you meet and you're like, and I'm not talking sexual sounds. I'm talking like, yeah, it's very. I mean, because there's deception from the very beginning. Because a lot of people, not everybody, there's some honest people, but a lot of people, they just, they're not forthcoming. It's old pictures, or the pictures are shot in such a way it's hiding like all these scars and
the world of filters on camera phones.
Oh yeah, especially now the filters. And of course, my background being in film, I can see all of it, the angles, the filters, and I'll be like, you're not fooling me. I know, but the old-fashioned way is the only way. It really is. Online there are some success stories, but for the most part, it's nothing but a disaster. It really is. Does anybody else in the chat room? Does anybody? What's it? I am. Okay, but is anybody in the chat room? And don't be ashamed because honestly, this is our life now. You're meeting people online. You're doing everything online. So there's nothing embarrassing about meeting people online.
You were talking about eHarmony. I had a friend who actually met her husband on eHarmony, and when they got married, she got pregnant, and they named her daughter Harmony.
So it was a success story.
Badooch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, there are some, but if you look at the numbers, it's overwhelming disaster compared to people who really the old-fashioned way is the only way, because you've met so and so many times, different times in person. You know, this person knows that, oh, let me introduce you to this and that and this group of people, and you're meeting the same person. And
what
you
was that? You fellas.
What'd you do, man? Did you crap through your mouth?
I did.
You need to stop that belching on air. There is no reason to have that.
Who belched?
You did, Nick.
Who?
Or it was Brownstein fat. One of you two.
Brown gravy will do that to you.
Yeah, I was just saying that sounded like a lot of gravy. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, let's face it. Everybody wants to have sex. I mean, for anyone to say like, I'm not interested in sex, I'm like, really? You're not? Don't lie to me. All right. We're meeting. We want to meet because of a lot of reasons. And that happens to be one of the biggest reasons. So stop lying. I can't stand, especially women do a lot of that stuff. Men usually be like, no, I want to have sex. But men are forthcoming. Like, no, I want to have sex. Women will try to act on, put it this big thing like, oh, no, I don't. Oh, not me. No, not me. Like, bull crap. What are you kidding? Are you kidding me?
You're swiping left, you're swiping right, and you're like, oh, she's cute. You decide to meet, and she's about 400 pounds heavier than
I have stories, dude. I have stories.
And her high school picture that she put on there.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's like, wow. I've heard stories about that stuff. Like,
I have a good. Oh, I got my. It's the singer. We're not. It's the ex-singer of my last band. He won't mind me telling this story because he laughs about it. So I'm gonna. Anyways, this is the early infancy. This is the early days of online. This, that, and the other thing, where it was still kind of like, you met that person online, you're a loser. That that year,
1999.
Well, like 2003, 5. Those years where like, you did what? And it's like, well, that's everyone that meets online now. But
I met her in Yahoo chat.
Yeah. So yeah. AOL. What's an AOL chat or something? So, anyways, American Online. So he met this. I can't remember the whole thing, but he met her, and they were talking for a while, and she was up north, I think in Chicago, and of course this is down in Florida, and they were talking, and he was like, "Well, why don't you just fly on down?" Okay.
62 inches tall. 62 inches tall.
There's two stories with him.
He was a midget.
No, there's two stories. Okay, I'm gonna hold on. I gotta put this on pause. I'll tell the first story, and then I'll get back to the woman up north. So the first woman he met was in town. Okay, this is the same scenario, American Online chat or whatever that was, and she lived in town. Okay. And he's like, yeah, why don't you just come on over after they talked for a while? Why don't you just come on over? And she's like, whatever. I'm just saying, oh, okay. So he tells the story like this, man. He was in his apartment, and he had the front door open, and the screen door was shut. And all of a sudden, he sees this big shadow come up to the door. And then there's a knock on the door, and Phil's like, he's like, yeah, come in. So the door opened up, and in order for her to get in, she had to turn sideways to get through the door. She was like 500 pounds, dude.
It's like what was that scene from O.J. Simpson had that big fro, and he couldn't get through the door, so he had to go in sideways
Dude,
from
she was
Naked Gun.
gigantic. Oh my god, she was huge, and he told me the whole time that when she came here, his eyes almost fell out of his head. He didn't know what to do. He's like, oh my god. He like sat on the couch, and she's like, he was like, oh man, she's gonna break the couch, and oh my god, he was telling me, and we were all laughing because we were all in the band together, and we were all laughing. But then getting back to the woman in Chicago, he's like, yeah, come on, why don't you just fly on down? She's like, okay, flies on down. He picks her up. He picks her up at the airport, and as soon as here's the thing, he saw pictures of her, obviously, okay, but when she was coming, exiting the plane, going through the ramp thing, whatever that's called, he sees all the people coming off, and he knew, out of all the people, all the heads and all the people bopping up and down and stuff, walking, he knew he was able to zoom right in on her. He was like, oh my god. He's like, oh no. Oh my god, this woman, she was early Me Too movement. Side of her head shaved like a mohawk with red mohawk. The other side was some other color. And she was, the picture she sent was a total lie. Extremely overweight. Not only that, she almost
she walks in with a shirt that says "I do not consent."
when he was like when he saw her, he was hiding behind this pillar, and he was like, should I just run? Should I just run? Should I just run? But he's like, no, I gotta be upstanding. And he's like, oh, hey, how's it going? And all that. Took her back to the apartment. And this woman was a mess. She was a train wreck. She almost died. She almost died in the apartment. This woman was possessed by some sort of demon, man. He said that he slept under the dinner table while she was in the bedroom sleeping because he was terrified of her. She was nuts. He was sleeping under the dinner table, shaking. He had to take her to the emergency room because her stomach was full of ulcers because she was ingesting cocaine.
Oh god!
Like, she not snorting it; she was like putting it in drinks and ingesting cocaine. And she's like, my ulcers are bleeding. I gotta go to the emergency room. I was like, oh man, this is unbelievable, man. He took her back to the airport. He's like, took her back, said, go back to Chicago. This woman was a mess, man. It was just, these stories are hilarious.
Well, you know what? Our time has come. Our 1 hour is up.
104. 4 minutes over. 4 minutes over, and we're getting the whip.
Yep.
So, who wants to? Of course, we're gonna have so and so to do our outro. But any last words? And people in the chat room, Chrissy Ann, any last words? No internet dating.
No internet dating. That's it.
It's all a scam.
Words of the wise. No internet dating.
Steamboat actually had a couple success stories. He's saying that his sister, somebody from a Christian dating site, met and they got married. They were going to adopt. Love you too, DM.
I'm going to open up an account on that Christian dating site and use my zombie picture.
Rational, you've put me off food for a week. Hey man, listen, if you need a diet, just talk about, internet dating site stories.
Alex says China Joe.
What did he say?
He said China Joe.
Oh.
And you know what else he said?
What did he say?
China Joe.
Yeah, somebody says party pooper.
I know. But anyways, it's time for us to say Right.
So, anyways, any last? Is that it, Christiane? Are those your last words?
That's my
You know
last
what? You
word.
should.
I love you. And I love everybody here. And I'm,
Yeah,
F off,
I want to.
Tom.
I want to hear Arena's stories. She said she has a ton of stories about online dating. Well, I'm gonna have to hear that
yeah.
sometime.
Urina, do you want to come on the show one night?
I want to hear about
Or
it.
God.
we could
They
do
have to
4
be.
hours
They have to
for
be
online
disasters.
dating. Yeah.
They got to be disasters.
Email me.
I want to hear them.
Email me here.
Yeah, they got to be disasters. Online dating disasters. That should be an episode. Online dating disasters.
Number 2
Not good
danger.
for this show. Oh no. All right. Well, we'll just bring you on Google Hangouts and we'll talk about it in private then, because I got to hear some of these. I've heard some really good ones, and I like to laugh. So
Yeah.
bring them
I've
on.
actually got a couple stories too.
God, I got too many, man. Oh my God, I got too many.
All
right.
right, y'all.
Everyone.
Y'all.
This particular human being, and I guess he's a human being.
Mhm.
He's awfully round. He's awfully fat, but more importantly, he's very white and flaccid. His name is Brown Stained Fat in 3, 2, 1.
This is Brown Stain Fair, and you've been listening to Christiane on what day is today? It is a Thursday. On a Thursday night. Thank you everybody for being in the chat, and really appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe, all that great stuff. I think we'll see you tomorrow, right? It'll be good, right? Are we coming on tomorrow? Okay, good. Anyways, everybody have a great night, okay? Thanks a lot.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, everyone. Spare the age.
Hit the thumbs up.